Welcome back everybody to Forza Horizon 5, and today we're taking a look at the 1987 Nissan Be-1. So this is again part of the Nissan Retro Rides car pack, which is takes up 4 cars that are part of the Pike car vehicles that were made by Nissan in the late 80s, early 90s. And this was produced between 1987 and 1988, with around 10,000 of them being made. And because these Pike cars were so popular at the time, Nissan actually had to run lotteries so people could, get them if they won the lottery, because they just couldn't keep up with demand otherwise, because they were that wildly popular. Which, I can certainly see why, because they do not look like anything else from the period. Really is the apparently the height of postmodernism, as someone called it. I think I'll credit that person because that's only the right thing to do. It was from a guy called Phil Patton for the New York Times, and this is the kind of retro, cutesy looking kind of vehicle that is so popular nowadays. You look right back into the early 2000s with the Beetle and the Fiat 500, and then you look at nowadays with the likes of the Renault 5 and the Honda E. It's just those kind of cars that look so much like this, and yet this is from the late 80s of all things. Now this was dubbed a notchback sedan, but outside of the fact it's got plenty of room in the back, I won't really call it a sedan given it's only 2 doors. And a sedan certainly would have more boot space than this. Granted, it looks a little bit more roomier than a Figaro, but it's not exactly the widest of openings, and I doubt it's very easy to get anything in. But if you've got no one in the back seats, then I'm sure you could use them up. And I really like the look of the interior on this. It's a bit more like what a car from the period would be like. So you got your stripy seating. You've got plenty of legroom in the back though as well. You've also got the the very simple interior as well. As you can see, wind down windows. It's not as luxurious as, say, a Figaro was. Not quite sure what. Oh, it's an aerial. I'm wondering why it wasn't pointing up there. Not quite as luxurious as a Figaro though, but I do like the little metal bin that it's got there on the right hand side there to put something in. But far more basic, but it's still based on the same Nissan Micra platform, the first gen, which means again front engine, front wheel drive. You've also got the same 3-speed automatic gearbox as the Figaro, although there was a 5-speed manual that was optional, and I would have preferred that to have been in this car, because this, despite not looking as sporty as the Figaro might look, it's actually the sportier of the 4 Pike cars. And I really love the dial layout as well, because you've got the big speedo in the middle there, and you've got your little rev counter to the left, and it's just a really nice looking thing. But as you can see, very basic on the interior. You don't really have a glove box. Like I said, wind down windows. It's just all very, very focused towards what looks like being as lightweight as possible, and that tracks really, because it only weighs 1,543 pounds, whereas the Figaro weighed 1,786 pounds, so more than 200 pounds extra. But this doesn't have anywhere near as much power as that car, as it isn't turbocharged. It's just the same 1 litre inline 4 engine, producing 51 horsepower and 55 pounds-feet of torque. So nowhere near as much power as the Figaro, which had more than 24 extra horsepower and 23 extra pounds-feet of torque. So yes, it weighed more than 200 pounds more, but it also has more in the way of power as well. So this isn't as quick in terms of top speed or acceleration as a result, but due to the way the engine sounds and the lack of weight, it does feel faster than it actually is. And one final note, this actually has front disc brakes as well, just like the Figaro, and this colour, which was dubbed can't remember it now, pumpkin yellow, is the only one of the 4 colours I think there were to actually have colour coordinated wheels. So yellow wheels with those black hubs, whereas every other colour only came with white steel wheels and black hubs. So and I love the look of this colour, to be honest, with those wheels especially. So it certainly helps the car stand out, because in terms of looks on the whole, especially from the front, it's definitely the more restraint restrained looking vehicle out of the Pike cars, with the other three certainly looking a little bit more outlandish. But still, let's get out onto the open road and see what this car is like. Right, so here we are at the drag strip, so let's see what this car can do before we, hit the speed camera, and yeah, and then we'll just drive it around open on the free roam element, because yeah, like the Figaro, this is not a speedy car in terms of performance, even less so because it has less power and less torque, even though it has less in the way of weight. Oh, well, stupid Ford F100's not helped our speed run there. I didn't notice them coming, even though they're in the whitest of white colour. I did not notice them, so let's try that again. So yeah, like I was saying in the Forza Vista mode, it's not as powerful as the Figaro, but it does come across as a bit more sporty, chiefly because the engine sounds a bit more alive, even though it is still dealing with the same 3-speed automatic gearbox. So I can only imagine that the 5-speed would be a hell of a lot more fun and way more able to use the power. So yeah, barely 73 mile an hour there, which obviously is not all that much, but yeah, just like the Figaro, it's just really, really fun to drive when it comes to just hooning it around. So these kind of cars, you're not really trying to be as precise as possible when it comes to the handling. You're just trying to just have as much as fun as possible with it when it comes to driving it. So yeah, I'm not sure if body roll is as substantial as the Figaro though, so we'll try and see if that's the case. Have to really get it up to speed though to make sure or not. No, seems a bit more flat and level than the Figaro, which I'm surprised about, because obviously this is older, even though it's based on the same platform, it's still an older car. And yeah, I guess that just really backs up my assertion that this is a more sporty vehicle than the Figaro, really, despite not having the sports car body. It's yeah, nowhere near as roly-poly in terms of handling as that vehicle, so yeah, that is good. But what this car doesn't have over the Figaro is performance, as this can only do 0 to 60 in 16.2 seconds, and it can only go up to 86 miles an hour. So yeah, it's a lot slower than the Figaro, unfortunately, but I would say this is that bit more exciting to drive, and yeah, the handling is that bit better just because it's not as roly-poly, but you can't really take advantage of that handling just because of the lack of power in general, to be honest. So yeah, that is a little bit of a shame. It would be really nice to have the Figaro engine in this car, with that, lack of weight and a 5-speed manual that you could option it with. Those two extras onto this car would make this such a much better vehicle. But as it stands, yeah, it's a fun enough car, and even though it's dubbed a notchback sedan, I would definitely call this more of a the hot hatchback of the 4 Pike cars, quite frankly. So yeah, still fun vehicle overall to drive, and yeah, I really do like its kind of lightweight, kind of hooligan kind of ethos that it's got going on, quite frankly. So yeah, not the most outlandish looking vehicle, and certainly the slower of the two outside of this and the Figaro, but still a fun vehicle to drive, and yeah, a real throwback to the kind of like underpowered but lightweight hot hatchbacks of the early 80s, quite frankly. So yeah, more like this, quite frankly, as far as it goes on this game. But yeah, this is one of the 4 vehicles out of the car pack that I mentioned earlier, and yeah, it is a car pack that is well worth getting. Nonetheless, so thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.